Welcome back to another episode of your Cooking with Night Diva Chef Doris T. Tonight's recipe is candied yams. Here I just finished rinsing off my potatoes. I got it in a pot filled with water. I let it soak, but I'm not going to boil my potatoes. I'm actually going to bake them. I prefer to bake them because they taste better to me and it stays in its natural oils. So now I'm just going to wrap it up in aluminum foil and put it in the oven and let it bake for 25 to 30 minutes. It's not going to be done, but it will be easy to peel and slice. Okay, I let it cook for 25 to 30 minutes and now I'm slicing it, which is very easier than if I was to do it while it was hard. And now I'm also going to peel it off, and as you can see, it's very easy to peel. The potatoes are still firm and needs more cooking time. When it is time to put it in the oven, I will let it cook for an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, but just check on it to make sure it's tender. And as you can see, I already peeled and sliced most of my potatoes, so now I'm going to make the sauce. Here I have a stick and a half of butter that I'm going to let melt up in a pot for a little bit, and then I'm going to add my white sugar. You will soon see why it's called candied yams. So right now I'm just melting my butter and stirring it around, and now I'm going to add my white sugar. As you can see, I'm not measuring my sugar. That's about a cup or half of a cup of sugar that I just put in, and now I'm just going to mix that in. I'm making sure I get it well incorporated. So now I'm going to add my brown sugar. Once I get it in, I'm going to smash it down to get out the lumps and mix it in well. Just continue to stir and smash until the lumps are gone. Because I don't measure any of my ingredients, you're just going to have to guesstimate at it. But I always suggest that you add a little bit of ingredients first and then taste your food. And after you taste it, if you need to add more, then do so. Don't add too much in the beginning, because if you add too much, you will not be able to take it out. So here I'm adding the allspice and just going to get that mixed in. And next, I'm going to add my nutmeg. And then I'm going to add some ground cloves. And then I'm going to mix it all in. Get that stirred up. And then I'm going to add some cinnamon. Once I get the cinnamon in there, I'm going to just mix it in. And then we're going to use pure vanilla. Don't use the imitation vanilla. The pure vanilla tastes much better and has a very nice fragrance to it. That's the one you want, not the imitation. And so here I'm adding my pure vanilla. And just going to get that all mixed in. And we're going to let it simmer and cook for like 10 minutes. But make sure you keep an eye on it. You do not want it to burn, because it will have a bitter, terrible taste to it. So after I mix everything all in, I'm going to let it simmer and bubble up. This is what your sauce should look like once it's simmered. And once it's simmered, you can turn off your stove and start layering the potatoes. So here I have my butter sauce at the bottom of my dish, and now I'm just adding my sweet potatoes on top of the sauce. It's not necessary that you layer the potatoes. You can actually just dump the potatoes into the dish and just pour the sauce on top. I just wanted to make sure that I get all of that good sauce on each potato. And I'm just going to keep layering it until it's filled up, and then I'm going to put it into the oven. And again, I'm going to let it cook for an hour or until it's nice and tender. And so I'm just putting the last layers together, the potatoes and sauce. And this is what the sauce should look like before it's done. You see it's loose, but it's still sticking to the potatoes. But when it is done, the potatoes will have gotten bigger and the sauce thicker. So here it is. I just took it out the oven. I'm removing the aluminum foil, and this is what it looks like once it's done. The sauce should be sticky and sticking onto the potatoes and not loose and saucy. And doesn't that look great? Well, thanks again for cooking with Night Diva Chef Doris T, and I hope to see you again soon. Make sure to tune in for next week's episode of Barbecue Ribs.